Yo, what's going on, guys? JBH here, and today I'm back on rFactor 2, where we are once again in the Supercars series today, going back in time a little bit to a race that did actually happen this year in the Supercars calendar, and that was the sort of Australian Grand Prix. Even though it didn't happen on the F1 side of things, I do believe they got a couple of races in on the Supercars side of things. So today, 9-lap race, nice little quick sprint race. At this race in real life, there's actually 4 races over the weekend. There's 4 little sprint races. It used to be a non-championship points paying race or race weekend, but they changed it, I believe, a couple years ago. Have managed to qualify off of 6th. Now, there is a few sort of issues I have so far with this mod on this track, mainly being that I can't actually change the gear stack, so I keep hitting the rev limiter like halfway down the main straightaway. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but we'll just have to deal with it, I suppose. I mean, there is I think there's an adjustable thing you can do in the actual setup of the car mod before you go into the race, but I just haven't had enough time to really play around with it. And yeah, that's enough talk. We will jump into this one and get away on this quick little formation lap. Once again, in the red, or 23 red Ford Mustang. So this car used to be driven by not Alex Davison, Will Davison, wrong brother, in real life, but unfortunately they folded. Alrighty, here we go, Supercars series around Albert Park on rFactor 2. Oh, good getaway, leaders not got away too well. Come on, Joseph, get the gear change right. 3 wide, use extra curb so I don't get hit. Man, I've been muscled out there. Down into turn number 3, this is where it usually gets all unstuck. Got one of the Penske Fords in front of us. Through this rhythm section. This corner's usually easy flat in an F1 car, but this track is very, very different driving a V8 supercar. I have just come from F1 2020. Checking out that new career mode, or the new features in the career mode. Obviously, the first round is always at Melbourne. So, going from an F1 car to a 1-ton supercar it takes a bit getting used to, but I mean, this track, I've done thousands on thousands of laps around this track on simulators over the years, so it's like riding a bike, this one. This track mod itself, I wouldn't say is completely up to date. They've got some bits missing. Well, AI are struggling through there. You know, just a few little inaccuracies, but it's still pretty good. I mean, layout's all the same. I love Albert Park. I mean, the Melbourne Grand Prix circuit is just insane. It's one of the last real sort of, especially on the F1 calendar, F1 tracks where there's grass and there's gravel, and if you make a mistake, you're not going to get away with it. Sneak up the inside. Yeah, boy. Ugh. But this track in a supercar, I find it's all about setup. I mean, it's nice and smooth, but it's all about that lateral grip, getting it as much side bite as you can. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm smashing it off the rev limiter. That is, like I said before the race, one of the issues I'm finding with this mod. I can't actually change the gear stack or gear ratio. I don't know if that's actually what it's like in real life. Oh, big dive bomb. Like in terms of the Supercar series and the regulations on actually changing the gear ratios. I know a lot of categories around the world keep their gear stacks sealed, like for GT3, I think, for example, is one of them. So the gearing is what it is, but yeah, I'm not sure about the V8. So many of these corners are easily flat out in a Formula 1 car, and then you get to a V8 supercar and it's like a struggle street. I have been to this race once in real life. I'll just turn that fan off me. It's hot in here. I've been to this race once in real life, and when you go from watching like the F1 practice session to the V8 supercars race directly afterwards, it's like the supercars just seem to be going in slow motion. The speed differential is just insane. But anyway, yeah, the V8s are, as we've come to sort of learn over the years, are definitely suited to more of that country style sort of Australian track or street circuits. You know, you stick a V8 supercar on an F1 track and it's just too wide open and fast. I mean, straights are usually too long, so you can just about get away with it on Albert Park because it is one of those shorter sort of bull ring style F1 tracks, but certainly not on the likes of, say, Abu Dhabi. Like when F1 when V8s went to Abu Dhabi, it was boring as batshit, honestly. Never forget that race. On the shortened version, it was alright, but when they went and ran as a support category to the F1, it was absolutely terrible. Around the outside. Oh, not to it. Down. You! Man, we're making moves here, lads. Just trying to not overuse this tyre at the same time because this. Get back on track. This track has so many sort of long corners. You really are leaning on it for quite a while, and it is a sprint race, so it's not like we get a pit stop to playing around tyre wear. But anyway, up into second. It's been a good sort of comeback after a messy start. Chaz Mostert ahead of us. Bryce forward was that car we just passed. I actually raced Bryce quite a bit in karts. He's from good old Darwin. We're never too fond of each other in the end, but such is karting life. In fact, just looking through the names in the top 6, I've raced just about every single one of these lot, except for Chaz Mostert. He's a little bit older than me. But I raced Anton De Pasquale just before he went to cars, and I was about to say karts, changed it halfway through. And then, actually no, I haven't raced Scott McLaughlin, but I have raced Bryce and Zane Goddard. He was my teammate for a bit. We had the same engineer. Anyway, we're starting to get a gap on third. Das ist gut. Just don't think we quite got enough pace for the holding out front, but just hold station here. Try not to use up too much of the tyre. That's not actually as bad as what I thought it would, going off the numbers, but as you can see there, just anytime I try and hold this pace and steering angle, it just really works or overworks that left front. So tyre wear's definitely been an issue for the last couple of races I've done with this mod. Last time out, I raced at Darwin, which was ridiculously hot as it is in Darwin all year round, and just shredded the tyre. But we are using the Dunlop soft compound, so a lot more grip, but wears away a lot quicker than I'd like. Probably should have just gone with the normal compound, to be honest, but makes it more interesting. Anyway, let's just try and focus for a lap or so here. Get that head down and go. Oh shit. Fucking hell. Okay, so that's, again, this mod, I'm not too happy with this track mod. I mean, there's like supposed to be AstroTurf, not grass, but for some reason it's grass. Anyway, this is the most sort of up-to-date rendition I could find of Melbourne. Come on, Joseph, focus. Yeah, I just seem to be in a little bit of a struggle street right now. I've just keep pulling away from the car behind, but got nothing for the car in front. So we'll just have to sit in second place and hopefully hold on to it here. Make no mistakes. We've got around 3 or so laps to go. Just don't want to blow this tyre apart either. Right, last lap now. We got a 5-second gap to McLaughlin behind us, who I think has actually been catching us up on this last lap, but still got nothing for Mustard out front. So we'll just try and make no mistakes on this last lap and bring it home on a podium, or on the podium, I should say. Alright, around the final corner, onto the main straight. Second place around Albert Park. Man, I need to get a better fan for this room. It is way too hot in here. Anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this one. All the mods are in the description below if you want to check out any of these, if you have rFactor 2. And yeah, until next time, catch you guys later.